Welcome to A Styled Life, the podcast for purpose-led female founders and senior leaders ready to use style as a powerful tool for confidence, impact and influence. I'm your host, Alex Standley, multi-award-winning personal stylist, speaker and sustainable fashion consultant with 2 decades of experience in the fast-paced world of fashion. Join me as we redefine success from the inside out. This podcast isn't just about clothes. It's about personal power, purposeful style, and creating a life that aligns with your values. So whether you're running a business, leading a movement, or stepping into your next chapter, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into the world of personal style, sustainability, female empowerment, and living with intention through real stories, expert insights, and plenty of inspiration. Welcome back to season 2 of the podcast. Last week with my amazing guest, Becky, we talked about body confidence and identity, about permission, self-trust, and showing up as you are now. And today's episode is a continuation of that conversation, because once you've reconnected with yourself, the next question becomes, how do I choose well without falling back into old habits? So today we're diving into something that I feel I've seen everywhere right now, which is cost per wear, which for January is obviously a great topic to be talking about. It seems to be trending across social media. Wardrobe apps are trying to calculate cost per wear for you, and it's being positioned as the new way to shop smarter. And obviously with my ethos, I love that it's encouraging people to be more intentional. But there's a whole other layer to cost per wear that most people never hear about. And that's a layer that shaped my entire career and one that completely transforms how my clients choose and wear their clothes. So today I want to take you deeper than the trend. So this isn't just about the numbers, it's about quality, identity, sustainability and longevity, and why cost per wear actually starts long before you ever bring something home with you from the shops. So I want to start off by talking about what cost per wear really represents. Because normally it's about that calculation of buy something, track how much you wear it and divide it by the price. But actually cost per wear starts at the point of purchase and not after it. So it's shaped by the quality, the fabric, the construction, the finishing, and the way it fits your lifestyle, and whether it feels aligned with who you are now from an identity perspective. And that's the part that people often miss, and that's the part I learned inside the industry long before I ever worked with stylists as a personal stylist. So before becoming a stylist, I spent 15 years as a global fashion buyer for brands like Marks and Spencer and Amazon, and I was incredibly lucky to work with some of the best buyers, the best technologists, and the most incredible designers in the fashion industry. And that really taught me how to evaluate quality instantly. And I learnt how to review things like fibre composition, yarn quality, construction, finishing, cost engineering, supplier capability, longevity predictions. And at M&S particularly, the standards were incredibly high, from supplier auditing and fabric testing to fit rules and ethical manufacturing. I visited factories across China, Hong Kong, Cambodia, Vietnam, India, Turkey, and the UK. And I was so incredibly lucky to work alongside technologists to decide which suppliers were capable of meeting M&S quality expectations. And this training means that I can look at a piece of clothing, sometimes even online from a single photo, and know how long it will last, how it will wash, whether it will pill, whether it will pull, and whether it's genuinely worth the investment. And I want to share some of that knowledge with you. So I wanted to give you a couple of real life examples. And the first one is knitwear. So knitwear was one of my favourite categories to buy for, and one of the first that I was involved in when I started off my career at M&S. It's also where people can make the biggest cost per wear mistakes. So imagine you're standing in a shop looking at two jumpers that look almost identical, the same colour, the same shape, both are soft to the touch. But one is £26 and the other is £150. From the outside, it's easy to assume the difference is branding or profit margin, but this is where cost per wear becomes a decision-making skill, because I can see instantly the £26 jumper almost always has a fibre breakdown, like polyester or acrylic being the biggest percentage. It will also have a sneaky tiny percentage of wool, just enough to market it as containing wool. But the synthetic fibres peel really quickly, so the polyester or the acrylic, and they trap heat and they lose their shape, and after 3 wears and 1 wash they often look tired. Then there's the £150 jumper, a wool cashmere blend with longer fibres, better twist, tighter construction and higher quality yarn. It breathes, it holds its shape, it softens with age rather than bobbling, and it still looks immaculate after 50 wears if you know how to wash it correctly. So the £150 jumper costs more initially, but if the cheaper one lasts 3 wears and the better quality knit can last 50 wears, the expensive knit becomes the most economical choice and the cheap knit becomes the most expensive mistake, which is easy to make and I know is one that often my clients have made in the past. So another great example is a coat I bought recently on Vinted, an M&S wool cashmere blend that was made from fabric sourced from the Nova Fides mill in Italy, which is an incredible quality, sustainable mill. The moment I saw the listing, I knew without having the coat in front of me that it would be warm, it would be durable, it would be beautifully constructed, and it would be capable of lasting a lifetime. Not because of the brand name being Marks and Spencer's, but because I recognise the mill, the fibre quality and the construction. And that is cost per wear in action, choosing pieces with longevity that you can understand from the offset, even when they're secondhand. You can buy a £69 polyester coat every winter because the lining goes, the seams pull, or the silhouette loses its shape and it peels. Or you can invest £250 to possibly upwards of £400 in a timeless wool cashmere coat that genuinely lasts decades with weekly use. Or, as I did, you can pick one up on Vinted for £25. The expensive option always becomes the most economical choice every single time. And most women don't make poor purchases because they're careless. They make them because they don't know which fabrics will last, they don't understand fit for their body shape or construction, they're overwhelmed by the trends, they panic buy for visibility moments because they're time poor, or they copy other people's style instead of building their own identity-led wardrobe. So the buying mistakes I see with clients, there are 2 patterns that I see again and again. The first one is safe purchases on repeat. Things like Breton stripes, jeans, black trousers, not because they love them, but because they're familiar. The cost per wear seems low. Then there's the beautiful one-off pieces that never get worn. Stunning items that do have potential, but there's no integration into their wardrobe. So neither of those scenarios create confidence and neither creates clarity either. And ultimately, they don't align with identity-led style. So cost per wear should actually give you as a tool self-expression, so buying pieces that support your evolution, authority, showing up with presence, ease, fewer decisions and more clarity, longevity, clothes that genuinely last, sustainability, buying less and choosing well, and confidence in knowing that every piece earns its place in your wardrobe. It's not about owning more, it's about owning better. Inside my styling packages, we build your signature style so you stop buying those one-off items that are never going to work. We analyse your best colours so you stop making mistakes and glow from the inside out. I analyse the fabrics, the construction and the quality to ensure that every piece that you're adding in has longevity. We create outfit formulas that maximise every piece in your wardrobe. We prioritise sustainable, high-wear investment pieces, and we reduce wasteful spending. Most clients say that they save thousands of pounds a year. My clients don't just look better, they become strategic about their wardrobes, emotionally, financially, and sustainably. In a world heading towards AI-driven shopping decisions, human insight is still the differentiator, especially when that insight comes from someone who's spent decades understanding what truly works. Thank you for tuning in to A Styled Life. If today's episode resonated, the best way to support the show is to share it with another trailblazer or leave a quick review. And if you're ready to align your style with your next level of impact, head to the show notes to book your free style strategy call. Because when your style aligns with your purpose, the world takes notice.